Okay, in this project we're going to be doing mono printing. Mono printing is you're creating one print, basically one impression of the stuff that you're laying down. That's a very broad definition, but you can do a lot of different stuff with mono printing. And what I'm doing in this tutorial today is just kind of one version of it. Luckily today I remembered to put a neutral density filter on my camera's lens, but I didn't straighten it too much, so it's kind of at a wonky angle, so I'm sorry about that. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking like a little bit of ink, you don't need too much, and I'm just putting a little bit on this piece of glass, and then I'm going to use my roller brayer, and I'm just creating a pad of ink. But this time what I'm doing is I want this to be actually the size of the paper, because we're going to put the paper directly on this ink. And you can see I took a little bit too much there, but that's actually really nice because I'm going to need like a separate spot to do a little bit of work. I'm sorry that my giant bald head kind of makes it into the frame quite a bit in this video. It's also maybe by video 3 for these kinds of tutorials, I'll have worked out all the kinks. So you can see I have a bunch of like leaves and plants here, and I'm pressing the clover into that pad of ink that I created, and I'm just kind of making an indentation with my fingers, mostly to keep it from moving while I use the brayer and I roll the brayer on top of it. So I got that there, and I'm going to put it on my other pad of ink. It's really slippery, I'm having trouble picking it up. And I'm just going to put it on that ink over there. There's my head. And I got this thing too, just like another leaf. I'm going to press that onto there and also use my brayer and just slowly go over it. It's okay if the brayer kind of picks it up because you can just like peel it right off. It's not that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm just carefully peeling it off of the brayer, and then I put it down on the that ink pad there. And I think that's like all I'm doing for like this print, and you're going to be amazed at the results here. Okay, so cleaning off my hands with a paper towel, and I'm taking a piece of paper here, and I want to make sure I get the smooth side down, not the rough side, smooth side, and put that down there. And I'm going to press it down a little bit with my hands. And like once I've pressed it down, I actually don't really need to hold it down. Like it kind of seals in with the ink, and so I can just go over it with the brayer. You know, now in this part of the video, I made a bad decision to try to use some cellophane here with terrible results. I should have anticipated this. It just like picks it up. It's like not a good idea to do this because I want to protect the paper. But while looking at this, like I think we're going to do a monoprint with cellophane because look at all those like cool textures that we pick up. Anyway, don't be alarmed. I just picked up the paper towel and it works great. So you don't want to get the back of the paper dirty, but I can just use a paper towel, and I'm just kind of going over all of the parts of the paper multiple times, especially making sure to go over the parts of the plant that I can feel. And then I peel it up, and voila, there you go. Nice little print there. It picks up so much detail, like a surprising amount of detail with these mono prints. Yeah, I love that one. Okay, so going on to the next one, I'm just going to peel this crap off here. It is very sticky, so yeah, your fingers are definitely going to get dirty here. So I'm just peeling that off, make sure to get the rest of it off, and then I'm going to recharge that ink there, put a little bit more ink over there, lay down more ink. We want to make sure that the ink is equally dispersed and very flat. And I found some little flowers. So I'm just going to take those flowers and I'm just going to slowly lay them down there, one after the other. And you know, what's nice about monoprinting is that, you know, it's like either like you get a good print or you don't. But, you know, with such finality, you end up kind of being a little bit more like aggressive with your artistic choices. Because also, you know, the only thing you really lose here is like paper. And it is nice paper, like it's expensive paper, but it's worth experimenting with. Um, and so I'm just taking these leaves that I rolled on there and I'm trying to artistically place them in a nice portion of the ink there. Very nice. And that's it. Yeah, I'm just going to put another piece of paper on there and make sure to press it relatively firmly and then just do the same deal all over again. I'm going to take my paper towel and, you know, an added benefit, this paper towel works great, by the way, but an added benefit of using a paper towel is it cleans the brayer. Like as you're making the prints, essentially. And so it was very easy to clean the brayer after making these prints because it was like essentially clean. So there's that. Again, like so simple, but very nice. Like I really like these prints. And then this might be my favorite one. Because when you make the print, you're basically protecting the parts of the plant that make the impression in the paper. We can make a second print on top of the of that kind of like used up portion of ink. So I'm going to place that small piece of paper down there and just place it on there. Try not to move. I'm a little bit more careful with that one because I don't want to move it around too much. And then, yeah, I'm just going back over the brayer and you'll be amazed at the results. It's just so cool looking. Yeah, so anyway, I'd like you to make at least 10 of these prints. I would recommend making at least 15 and just picking your best 10. But we're going to be doing mono printing for a while and have fun, like experiment. There's like nothing wrong with just trying weird things. I tried to flatten some flowers by putting it through like a pasta press, and I just got this like gross mess of like green stuff. But it was worth trying.